Good evening. This is All India Radio. I'm Valsa Williams and with me is R.S. Raghu with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lays foundation stone for four-laning of two key highways in Maharashtra. Also dedicates to the nation multiple road projects for boosting connectivity to Pandharpur. President Ramnath Kovind confers Padma Awards for the year 2020. Former Union Ministers Arun Jaitley, George Fernandes and Sushma Swaraj conferred with Padma Vibhushan posthumously. Classical singer Pandit Channu Lal Mishra and boxer MC Mary Kom also honoured with Padma Vibhushan. Over 108 crore 51 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. Recovery rate is at 98.24%. Heavy rain disrupts normal life in Tamil Nadu. NDRF teams deployed in affected areas. President Ramnath Kovind to preside over 51st Conference of Governors and Lieutenant Governors on the 11th of this month. Delhi court awards 7-year jail terms to real estate tycoons Sushil and Gopal Ansal for tampering with evidence in Uphaar cinema fire case. 4-day-long Chhath Puja begins in different parts of the country. US reopens its land and air borders to fully vaccinated passengers from today. And in cricket, India take on Namibia in their last league match of T20 World Cup. As India created history by administering over 100 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, All India Radio salutes all the doctors, nurses, other frontline workers and all those who got vaccinated and made this possible. Even though the country has achieved this feat, we caution our listeners that the battle against COVID is not yet over. We appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated at the earliest and also help others get vaccinated during the festival season. Please follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 01123978046 and 1075. Now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has said the basic mantra of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, Sabka Vishwas has been inspired from the teachings of Lord Vitthal, and Bhagwan Vitthal has connected him with all other devotees. The Prime Minister said this after laying the foundation stone this afternoon for 4-laning of 5 sections of Sri Sant Gyaneshwar Maharaj Palki Marg NH 965 and 3 sections of Sri Sant Tukaram Maharaj Palki Marg NH 965G in Maharashtra's Pandharpur via video conferencing.
आज यहाँ श्री संत ज्ञानेश्वर महाराज पालकी मार्ग और संत तुकाराम महाराज पालकी मार्ग इसका शिलान्यास हुआ है. श्रीमंत ज्ञानेश्वर महाराज पालकी मार्ग का निर्माण 5 चरणों में होगा और संत तुकाराम महाराज पालकी मार्ग का निर्माण 3 चरणों में पूरा किया जाएगा. इन सभी चरणों में 350 किलोमीटर से ज्यादा लंबाई के हाईवे बनेंगे और इस पर 11,000 करोड़ रुपए से अधिक का खर्च किया जाएगा. इसके सबसे खास बात ये है कि इन हाईवे के दोनों तरफ पालकी यात्रा के लिए, पैदल चलने वाले श्रद्धालुओं के लिए, वारकरियों के लिए विशेष मार्ग बनाए जाएंगे.
About 221 kilometers of Sant Gyaneshwar Maharaj Palki Marg from Diveghat to Mohol and about 130 kilometers of Sant Tukaram Maharaj Palki Marg from Patas to Tondle Bondle will be 4-laned with dedicated walkways for Palki on either side. These road projects are aimed at facilitating the movement of devotees to Pandharpur. Quoting Adi Shankaracharya, the Prime Minister said that Lord Vitthal is the symbol of happiness and Pandharpur is the land of joyousness. The Prime Minister said road is the gateway of development. He invoked former Prime Minister late Atal Bihari Vajpayee and said where roads are built, development reaches there. Mr. Modi said the Swachh Bharat mission received support from the Warkaris or pilgrims as they too started Nirmal Wari. He said in Dindi, a spiritual procession, there is no caste discrimination. Mr. Modi urged the Warkaris to plant saplings alongside the pathway that leads to the main pilgrim site, which in future would grow into huge trees and provide shade.
जिस संत तुकाराम महाराज पालकी मार्ग का निर्माण होगा, उसके किनारे जो विशेष पैदल मार्ग बन रहा है, उनके दोनों तरफ हर कुछ मीटर पर छायादार वृक्ष जरूर लगाए जाएं। जब ये मार्ग बनकर तैयार होंगे, तब तक ये पेड़ भी इतने बड़े हो जाएंगे कि पूरा पैदल मार्ग छायादार हो जाएगा। मेरा इन पालकी मार्गों के किनारे पड़ने वाले अनेक गांवों से इस जन आंदोलन का नेतृत्व करने का आग्रह है।
Mr. Modi said that he also wants to see Pandharpur as one of the cleanest pilgrimage sites in the country. The Prime Minister also observed that majority of Warkaris come from the farming community and noted that when the farmers prosper, the society too prospers. He said true Annadata connects society and lives for society.
एक सच्चा अन्नदाता समाज को जोड़ता है, समाज को जीता है और समाज के लिए जीता है। आपसे ही समाज की प्रगति है और आपकी ही प्रगति में समाज की प्रगति है। इसलिए अमृत काल में देश के संकल्पों में हमारे अन्नदाता हमारी उन्नति का बड़ा आधार है। इसी भाव को लेकर देश आगे बढ़ रहा है।
During the event, the Prime Minister also dedicated to the nation more than 223 kilometers of completed and upgraded road projects at different national highways for boosting connectivity to Pandharpur. These projects include Mheswad Pelev Pandharpur NH 548E, Kurduvadi Pandharpur NH 965C, Pandharpur Sangola NH 965C, Temburni Pandharpur section of NH 561A and Pandharpur Mangalwedha Umadi section of NH 561A. Union Road Transport and Highways Minister Nitin Gadkari and Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray, among others, were present on the occasion.
President Ramnath Kovind presented Padma Vibhushan Award to boxer MC Mary Kom this evening. He also honoured former Mauritius President Anirudh Jagnath and late seer of Pejawar Mutt, Vishwesha Tirtha Swami, with the second highest civilian honour posthumously. Mr. Kovind presented Padma Bhushan to Gandhian Krishnammal Jagannathan, senior Jammu Kashmir leader Muzaffar Hussain Beg, veteran gynecologist from Ladakh Dr. Chering Landol, and business magnates Anand Mahindra and Venu Srinivasan. He also honoured English and Odia author Manoj Das and former Union Minister and former Goa Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar with Padma Bhushan posthumously. Here is a desk report.
Prominent personalities who were given Padma Shri include pulmonologist Digambar Behera, environmentalist Tulsi Gowda, singer Suresh Wadekar, TV series producer Ekta Kapoor, filmmaker Karan Johar, farmer and Sarpanch of Model Panchayat Popat Rao Pawar, Satriya dancer Indira P.P. Bora, former hockey captain and coach M.P. Ganesh, bhajan singer and social worker Munna Master, and Chaiti Ghoda dancer Utsab Charandas. Convener of Bhopal Gas Pirit Mahila Udyog Sangathan, an advocacy group for victims, survivors and their families, Abdul Jabbar was honoured with Padma Shri posthumously. In the morning, Mr. Kovind had honoured former Union Ministers Arun Jaitley, George Fernandes and Sushma Swaraj with Padma Vibhushan posthumously, along with classical singer Pandit Channulal Mishra. Badminton player P.V. Sindhu received Padma Bhushan.
Kumari P.V. Sindhu, Khel Badminton.
Prominent personalities who were given Padma Shri in the morning include singer Adnan Sami, former head scientist of ICMR Dr. Raman Ganga Khedkar, actress Kangana Ranaut, environmentalist Himmat Ram Bhambu, veteran theatre and television artist Sarita Joshi, and captain of the women's hockey team Rani Rampal.
Sushri Rani, Khel Hockey.
Nishit Kumar for AIR News, Delhi.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated all those who have been conferred the Padma Awards. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said he felt extremely happy to see grassroots-level achievers being recognized for their exemplary efforts to further public good. He said, from the environment to enterprise, agriculture to the arts, science to social service, public administration to cinema, recipients of the People's Padma Awardees come from diverse backgrounds. The Prime Minister urged everyone to know about each of the awardees and get inspired.
Delhi Regional Security Dialogue convened by India over the situation in Afghanistan will be held in New Delhi on the 10th of November. The dialogue will be held at the level of National Security Advisors or Secretaries of Security Councils and will be chaired by India's National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. The Delhi Regional Security Dialogue on Afghanistan will witness an expanded participation of Iran, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyz Republic, Russia, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan, who will all be represented by their National Security Advisors or Secretaries of the Security Councils. India had also invited Pakistan and China for the meeting. However, both countries are not participating. More from our correspondent.
During the meeting, there will be discussions over security situation in Afghanistan, radicalization, extremism, drug production and trafficking. Threat emanating from military weapons left behind in Afghanistan will also be part of discussion. The meeting will also deliberate on issues of humanitarian assistance in Afghanistan. The first two editions of the dialogue were hosted by Iran in 2018 and 2019. The high-level dialogue will review the security situation in the region arising from recent developments in Afghanistan. It will deliberate open measures to address the relevant security challenges and support the people of Afghanistan in promoting peace, security and stability. India has traditionally enjoyed close and friendly ties with the people of Afghanistan and has called for a unified international response to address the security and humanitarian challenges facing Afghanistan. The forthcoming meeting is a step in that direction. Anupam Mishra with Anand Kumar, AR News, Delhi.
Ministry of External Affairs has said that National Security Advisor NSA Ajit Kumar Doval has no official account on Twitter. MEA spokesperson Arindam Bagchi advised caution against imposter or fake accounts under the name of NSA. President Ramnath Kovind will preside over the 51st Conference of Governors and Lieutenant Governors on the 11th of this month at Rashtrapati Bhavan. This will be the fourth conference to be presided over by President Kovind. Apart from governors and lieutenant governors of all states and union territories, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Union Home Minister Amit Shah will also attend the conference. Union Minister for Commerce and Industry Piyush Goyal today launched the third edition of Logistics Ease Across Different States Leads Report 2021. As per the report, Gujarat has been adjudged as the best performing state while Uttar Pradesh as top improver. Gujarat occupied the first position, Haryana second, while Punjab got the third position as per the report. Launching the report in New Delhi, Mr. Goyal said that some states have leapfrogged in their rankings and Uttar Pradesh has moved ahead 7 places. The minister said this reflects the efforts that have been made in improving the quality of infrastructure in Uttar Pradesh.
Over 108 crore 51 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered so far under the nationwide vaccination drive. A total of 11,451 new cases were reported during the last 24 hours. The recovery rate is currently at 98.24%. Over 13,200 people recovered in the last 24 hours, taking the total recoveries to 3 crore 37 lakh 63,104. India's active caseload stands at 1 lakh 42,826. Over 61 crore 60 lakh tests have been conducted so far. In our bilingual live phone-in program, Corona Jagrukta series, Professor Dr. Sanjay Pandey, GP Pant Hospital, New Delhi will be with us tonight to answer the queries related to coronavirus. Listeners can ask questions to the expert from 9:30 p.m. on toll-free number 1800-115767 and on telephone number 011-2331-4444. You can also post your queries on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This live program can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on our website newsonair.nic.in and on our YouTube channel News on Air Official. You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lays foundation stone of 4-laning of 2 key highways in Maharashtra. Also dedicates to the nation multiple road projects for boosting connectivity to Pandharpur. President Ramnath Kovind confers Padma Award for the year 2020. Former Union Ministers Arun Jaitley, George Fernandes and Sushma Swaraj conferred with Padma Vibhushan posthumously. Classical singer Pandit Channulal Mishra and boxer MC Mary Kom also honoured with Padma Vibhushan. Over 108 crore 51 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive. Recovery rate is at 98.24%. Heavy rain disrupts normal life in Tamil Nadu. NDRF teams deployed in affected areas. President Ramnath Kovind to preside over 51st Conference of Governors and Lieutenant Governors on 11th of this month. Delhi Court awards 7-year jail terms to real estate tycoons Sushil and Gopal Ansal for tampering with evidence in Upahar cinema fire case. 4-day-long Chhath Puja begins in different parts of the country. US reopens its land and air borders to fully vaccinated passengers from today. And in cricket, India take on Namibia in their last league match of the T20 World Cup. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
भारत के स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में अनगिनत स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों ने अपने प्राणों की आहुति दी। कुछ इतिहास में अमर हो गए और कई गुमनाम। आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के अंतर्गत 75 कड़ियों की श्रृंखला में हम उन वीरांगनाओं की बात करेंगे जिनका योगदान कभी भुलाया नहीं जा सकता। प्रत्येक मंगलवार परिक्रमा में सुनिए अपराजिता, देश की वीरांगनाओं को आकाशवाणी का सादर नमन।
Welcome back to the evening news. Heavy rain has disrupted normal life in several parts of Tamil Nadu and Puducherry. Regional Met Department has forecast that a low-pressure area is likely to be formed in the southeast Bay of Bengal in the next 24 hours. The Met Department has warned that there would be continuous rain over Tamil Nadu coast for another 3 days. NDRF teams have been deployed in Tiruvallur, Chengalpattu and Madurai districts of Tamil Nadu for rescue and relief work. More from our Chennai correspondent.
With reservoirs, lakes and ponds in the northern districts and in the delta areas reaching the maximum levels, government is concentrating on methods to tackle the challenge lying ahead. People living in flood-prone areas are being moved to safer places as 5,106 relief centers have been set up to serve them. Giant pumps are being used to drain the surging water in and around Greater Chennai. Helipads have been prepared in 87 places to enable rescue efforts in times of disaster. Chief Minister M.K. Stalin along with his cabinet colleagues visited rain-hit areas in Chennai for the second day today and directed the officials to sort out issues especially near the embankments. NDRF and SDRF teams have been moved in for rescue missions. Joy, AIR News, Chennai.
Fishermen of Puducherry and Tamil Nadu have been advised not to venture into the sea till 11th November due to the bad weather condition. A Delhi court awarded 7-year jail terms to real estate tycoons Sushil and Gopal Ansal for tampering with evidence in the Upahar cinema fire case. The court also imposed a fine of 2.25 crore rupees each on the Ansals. The court also awarded 7-year jail term each to former court staff Dinesh Chand Sharma and 2 others, P.P. Batra and Anup Singh, and a fine of 3 lakh rupees each on them. The Ansals were found guilty of evidence tampering in the main fire tragedy case, in which they were convicted and sentenced to 2-year jail term by the Supreme Court. The top court, however, released them, taking into account the prison time they had done on the condition that they pay 30 crore rupees fine each to be used for building a trauma centre in the national capital. The fire that claimed 59 lives had broken out at the Upahar cinema during a film show on June the 13th, 1997.
US reopens land and air borders to fully vaccinated passengers from today. The travellers are required to provide proof of vaccination status prior to boarding an airplane to fly to the United States with only limited exceptions. Fully vaccinated air travelers will be required to show documentation of a pre-departure negative viral test from a sample taken within 3 days of travel to the United States before boarding. That includes all travelers, U.S. citizens, lawful permanent residents and foreign nationals. 4-day-long Chhath Puja celebration has begun in various parts of the country from today. During the celebration, devotees pay special prayer to the sun god. The festival is connected with purity and devotion to the sun god, who is considered as the source of life on the earth and is regarded as the deity who fulfills all our wishes. As our nation celebrates the 75th year of independence, a series of events are being organized by the government as a part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. To commemorate the occasion as a Jan Utsav, All India Radio News brings its listeners a special quiz on India's freedom movement and its glorious history. The quiz is being conducted every Monday and Tuesday in morning news and will continue till 15th of August 2022. And now, let us listen to our special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. India's glorious fight for freedom is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the valiant struggle every day.
8th of November 1966 is the death anniversary of a remarkable woman and a freedom fighter, Rameshwari Nehru, popularly known as Mataji. She played a significant role in the awakening of women that left an indelible mark in the history of the women's movement in India. Rameshwari Nehru was married to Brijlal Nehru, who was the nephew of Motilal Nehru.
It was from Anand Bhavan, Prayagraj, that Rameshwari Nehru started her eventful career, which was dedicated to the cause of women and the freedom of the motherland.
Rameshwari Nehru started the first women's journal in Hindi, Stree Darpan, in 1909 from Allahabad. It was through Stree Darpan that she tirelessly espoused the cause of women's rights.
She became an active member of the Women's India Association and All India Women's Conference. She had also started a Nari Niketan to help women rescued from brothel houses.
When the British government appointed the Age of Consent Committee in 1928 to fix the consent for girls, Rameshwari was the only Indian woman member of the committee.
This committee's report formed the groundwork for the Child Marriage Restraint Act. She said,
Swaraj cannot be attained by people whose other halves are stricken by paralysis. The battle of Swaraj has to be fought and won by men and women alike.
Post-independence, she played a significant role in the rehabilitation of the people who had migrated due to the trauma of partition.
In 1955, the Government of India honoured Rameshwari Nehru with Padma Bhushan for her outstanding contributions, especially in the field of rehabilitation of widows, orphans, children and old people.
She also won the Lenin Peace Prize in 1961.
Today we will also talk about the Marudu brothers of Tamil Nadu. Periya Marudu and Chinna Marudu were born to Mokka Palanisamy Devar and his wife Ponnata, who served as the second king of Sivagangai kingdom.
But their time in the palace was to soon come to an end. While the brothers were in their early 20s, the Nawab of Arcot, along with his East India Company soldiers, killed the Queen and the King. The Marudu brothers escaped, but they came back after several years and claimed back the fort after a fierce battle.
More than 50 years before the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857, the Marudu Pandya brothers had led a concerted struggle against the oppressive practices of the British. On 16th of June 1801, the brothers issued a proclamation of independence from the Tiruchi fort, calling for people of all castes and communities to unite in their fight against European domination. Their attacks on East India Company were so fierce that EIC sent a huge force and captured the brothers and executed hundreds of their supporters.
On October the 24th, 1801, Periya Marudu and Chinna Marudu were publicly hanged to death at the Tirupattur fort of southern Tamil Nadu. Every one of their fellow rebels, their commanders and servants, their sons and even their young grandsons were hanged alongside them. The total number of persons hanged numbered about 500. With those mass executions, the British East India Company and its allies successfully put an end to a fierce rebellion by the southern kingdoms of India, a revolt that barely finds mention in history textbooks.
Marudu brothers were good in aerodynamics and invented many variants of spears and Valari. They also founded guerrilla war tactics in India during the early stages of colonization. A commemorative postage stamp was released in October 2004 in their honor. Every year, people conduct Marudu Pandya's Guru Puja at the Kalayar Kovil temple in October. That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar AIR News ke Sang. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
आजादी के आंदोलन के खजाने में ऐसे ढेरों शब्द जिन्होंने बदल दिए इतिहास, तारीख बदलने वाले लफ्जों पर आकाशवाणी समाचार ला रहा है विशेष कार्यक्रम धरोहर हर सोमवार।
Moving on to sports, in the ICC Men's T20 Cricket World Cup, Namibia were 131 for 8 in 19.5 overs against India at Dubai International Cricket Stadium in Dubai when reports last came in. Earlier, India won the toss and opted to field in the last league match. India's chances in the tournament officially ended after New Zealand defeated Afghanistan by 8 wickets in Abu Dhabi yesterday. Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. National capital Delhi will have a partly cloudy sky. Mumbai and Kolkata will have mainly clear sky. Chennai is expected to have generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Jammu, Srinagar, Leh, Gilgit and Muzaffarabad will have mainly clear sky. Visakhapatnam, Thiruvananthapuram and Puducherry will have generally cloudy sky with heavy rain. And now before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi lays foundation stone for 4-laning of 2 key highways in Maharashtra, also dedicates to the nation multiple road projects for boosting connectivity to Pandharpur. President Ramnath Kovind confers Padma Awards for the year 2020. Former Union Ministers Arun Jaitley, George Fernandes and Sushma Swaraj conferred with Padma Vibhushan posthumously. Classical singer Pandit Channulal Mishra and boxer MC Mary Kom also honoured with Padma Vibhushan. Over 108 crore 51 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered so far under nationwide vaccination drive, recovery rate at 98.24%. Heavy rain disrupts normal life in Tamil Nadu. NDRF teams deployed in affected areas. President Ramnath Kovind to preside over 51st Conference of Governors and Lieutenant Governors on 11th of this month. Delhi court awards 7-year jail terms to real estate tycoons Sushil and Gopal Ansal for tampering with evidence in Upahar cinema fire case. 4-day-long Chhath Puja begins in different parts of the country. US reopens its land and air borders to fully vaccinated passengers from today. And in cricket, India take on Namibia in their last league match of T20 World Cup. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.